Hello everyone, my name is Daniel and I'm just a casual racer, and today I want to showcase Highway Clash. Highway Clash is a mobile game, the first mobile game that we've been working on over at Authentic Simulation. This project has progressed rapidly. It's just in a beta state now for the first time, and this project was one that we've only been working on for a few months. It's made really good progress. I'll just jump in here real quick and talk while we drive here. Drive along, and it's just a mobile game, right? There's nothing crazy about it. We got a lot more plans for this, right? We want to adjust like the hearts and the scoring. We want the scoring to be based on passing cars, and we want to add more variety between the maps, which right now are pretty similar. But we're aiming for kind of like a heavy traffic rush type experience. Lots of traffic. We hope to get semis, that type of thing. So you'll weave through traffic, earn points. And if you remember back in the day, I remember this. I'm in a tablet growing up. Well, not really growing up, but I was in late high school, and you could play different mobile games. I remember like Jetpack Joyride and Subway Surfers and stuff, and there just wasn't a ton of ads, and they weren't making to buy tons of stuff. And that's kind of what we're looking to deliver here is a classic mobile game, and use some of the assets, some of the licenses we've purchased. For example, we're going to have officially licensed cars in this game. Right now, they're just placeholder, but we will have that. The maps are just going to be unique places around the world. For example, we have Route 66, this is Los Angeles, and then we're going to have New York. And these maps are going to provide a lot of variety. They'll be free to play. There'll be some billboards with some ads on them, but apart from some roadside billboards with ads, our plan is to have this game be entirely ad-free and have a really enjoyable experience with those initial tracks. And then if the game is successful and people like it, we will consider adding maybe like 3 more tracks or 3 more locations at a time for like $1.99 each. So it's kind of like a low-cost way for people to support the development, and we'll add more stuff, for that. If you support it, then we'll add more. But this is also going to be a good test case. I should probably start running into some things so I can show you more. But this is going to be a good test case for us in Unity and mobile game development, and we do a ton of outsourcing work at Authentic, right? That's what we do. And so to have something that could be branded or an experience that we could bring to the table, go to the settings right now and turn off the music. Yeah, swipe and tap, so you could tap, or like I was doing swipe. Garage, you can unlock faster cars. So for example, there's a faster car, there's an even faster one. I haven't got enough coins yet for it. And these are where we're going to have the officially licensed cars. So for example, we're going to have a Rush SR in here, we'll have a Revolutions in here, we have another company we're talking with, we'll have their car in there, and hopefully more, right? This is another thing too, right, is we can diversify maybe revenue streams and ways we can grow as a company. I'll show you the leaderboard here. But it also provides a way that we can potentially offer more services to our outsourcing partners, and also maybe even licensing partners, because it's not just maybe a small indie game or an Assetto Corsa mod, but maybe it's included in an indie game, the Tozy series. It's getting it mod into Assetto Corsa, maybe Assetto Corsa Evo, Project Motor Racing, getting mods into those, and then also maybe including the car in a mobile game that hopefully is relatively popular and people enjoy, a throwback to kind of the good days of mobile and tablet games. That's hopefully what we can offer with Highway Clash. So this is in an early beta. We've got it on people's phones. They're testing it, enjoying themselves. Let's just jump in here real quick with a faster car. And we want to deliver an experience that people will enjoy first and foremost from kind of the player's perspective, the consumer's perspective. That's always what kind of guides me whenever I'm doing any of my various racing software development type stuff. Same thing with like lounges, right? One of the big things we're always telling our lounge partners is, what does the customer want? And that's part of the reason why we make decisions that we do with our SimLane software, is based on the feedback we get from customers at lounges, flight racing lounges, centers, cafes, whatever. And so based on that feedback, and of course we also take a lot of feedback from them, and we incorporate payment technologies and stuff, and making it all seamless with SimLane. Same thing with SimVendor, right? That's coming out this month, and that's going to incorporate a lot of stuff from the consumer perspective, and we're going to continue that with the Highway Clash project here and get a really good mobile game for all of you to enjoy. Hopefully too, we wanted this as well, and I would love feedback in the comments on what are things you would like in a mobile game that maybe you play while you're waiting in a doctor's office or something like that. Do you want something with elements from sim racing, some hardcore elements? We want to do a little career mode. It's going to be pretty simple. It'll be tied more to each map, and there'll be like unique scenarios you'll uncover when you cross certain points thresholds. But is there anything else that you guys are thinking about that you would like to experience when you're playing a mobile game like this? Or would you rather prefer it to be something more casual entirely, and it doesn't have to be that strictly tied to something sim racing oriented? Right now, we're just still focused kind of on the core gameplay and things, so we're not too worried about some of those questions, but it will be something we really need to start considering as we begin to fine-tune and dial in this project. We'd like to get some sort of test, I think, out to our supporters at Authentic by the end of the year. At least that's kind of a goal I have in my head. Now, that might not be all 3 maps at this current point, but at the very least, with one map, be in Los Angeles and get an experience out. One of the things we want with LA is we really want to have it be set more within like downtown Manhattan, and we have it really go between like one-way traffic, and then two-way traffic, and like 3 and 1 and 2 and 2 and all the way 4 in the same direction, and really just do a real diversity. Whereas with the Los Angeles, it's just going to more stay a 2-lane and 2-lane freeway kind of style, within maybe sometimes a wall in the middle as a barrier and sometimes not. So we'll see how we end up ultimately diversifying, and then Route 66 is just going to be a 2-lane highway most of the time, and that'll be a very different kind of experience as well. So a lot of different ideas. If you have ideas for maps or things like that, curious. I know this is very different than projects I've worked on in the past, and I'm not going to say I have every answer for stuff like this, but wanted to guys give you a little bit of peek behind the scenes and showcase what we're doing and get your guys' feedback and ideas as we continue to work on this project. So hopefully you enjoyed this peek, but most of all, I hope you all have a fantastic rest of your week.